Very good morning, everybody. This topic is more or less the armed rebellion and also the security, internal security. You know what? There is a most distinguished factors in two domains. One is external aggravation from the security threat. Another one is internal aggravation from security threat. So what is internal, what is external? Internal means within the Peninsula of India and governing the threat with the administration to emphasize his objective to interpret the wrong sense of ethos. This is the internal threat. You know what? This is basically a Naxalism or the Maoist or any insurgent group which operates through mobilize the weapon. Weapon can change the world. A bullet cannot maintain the peace. This is the quote, the flagship quote. A bullet cannot be maintained the adequate ethos or ethics, but it can maintain the injustice in terms of in a rightly manner. If the causative action in a negative manner, it won't be suffice, it won't be gather enough to deal the things. So you know this chapter is 100% question in General Studies 3 with respect to security concern because after 2011 it is appreciated our India is very less insurgent group happening. Where exactly the location localized in a skew symmetric way is Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha. Why it is so? Only South India is made their own obligation towards the insurgent group. Why? Because the forest cover is more. What is an objective they need to be because they want to hide their identity because they are the insurgent group. They are not available to everybody because they are the insurgent armed rebellion. So they have to maintain their own hideout. That's why if you concentrate the India map, clearly witnessing the Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh and coastal Karnataka, that is Udupi, Hebri, and if you concentrate Dakshina Kannada, Uttara Kannada, some part, not a huge part, Shivamogga, Malanadu, there you will get a more number of insurgent group there. So this topic is mainly concerned about how to eradicate the Naxalism and how to mitigate the threat for India in internal security. You know what is a quote in a beautification manner? The security threat will be peace when the administration will be peacefulness. What do you mean by peacefulness? The peacefulness is not a dignity, is not ethos or ethics. The peacefulness comes from the ambient silence. When silence happens, the peacefulness is absolutely come across. But a bullet makes a sound, it will be hamper the society. What is the reason and what agitation happening? This is the scenario. This is a brief introduction on this concern. I will explain you a word, vigilantism. What do you mean by vigilantism? Vigilantism means any group which has no rule, no law, no constitutional validity, but it makes the power with their own hands without permission of the concern of the state or the government. That is the vigilantism. He maybe use the weapon as a supportive action for their objective, or he may be he is not in a place of dialogue. He used the weapon as a dialogue. So this is the most vulnerable situation. Internal threat, why it is called as internal threat means there is no foreign body is attacking India here. Our own India, some part of the concerned objective fellows are insert and investigate and replicate the opposition towards from the gun. So the Honorable Great Doctrine of Mahatma Gandhi emphasized eye to eye will destroy the nation. It won't be fair enough, the peace. He's a great propagator of non-violence, right? Mahatma Gandhi laid upon the fundamental foundation for non-violence. He taught the lesson how to make a use of it. The non-violence itself is the weapon. So he propagated in such a way. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh emphasized the internal insurgents group are the threat to India's most vulnerability. It was 2011, the peak Naxalism happening. This is the era of Naxalism. 2011, I saw in TV9, at that time I saw Honorable, now he is ADGP, Alok Kumar, IPS. He was IGP there. And he got eradicated Naxalism from combing operation. Because Naxalism are propagate the guerrilla war. What do you mean by guerrilla attack? The ambush. Ambush means, the guerrilla means anything which is subverted by the identity, but the peace accord is in nature of the gunpoint. You are not knowing that whether they are. Or if you caught them also, you are not identified whether they are Naxalite or not. This is the scenario. But very flexibly I can convey, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Jharkhand, significantly 80% of the Naxalism are threat is away now. Only remaining on a few consecutive, few symmetric way is made upon the justice towards it. This is the chapter 3. Peak violence is observed in 2009 and 2011. 2014 due to security and development intervention. What is security? What is development? With regards of the nationalism. Development means a dialogue. What is the demand? Any nationalist, any insurgent group has its own objective, has its own propaganda. But if you eradicate that seems to be in a non-natural level for nationalism, nationalist, and natural level from the state, there is an opponent abbreviation will be gathered. So this is the rift happen. When the rift happen, when the gun will be found, right? So this is an action. What is the development? Any development has its own sense. We are not only writing in a paper Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It is our responsibility to deal in last mile regard. You people are becoming an administration in the future, and you are now concerned to the citizen of India. And responsible, collective responsibility you made upon to the voice of the voiceless people. But still, a marginal jung is uncovered, right? That marginal jung or the cap is respective interpretation towards the nationalism. They want that. They want that. They are not asking a superior modern technology. They are not asking any of the action auxiliary force. They are asking the basic need. Why can't it? Is not possible. Even the law is not justified it. Don't know how come it is possible. The Maharashtra SCM once propagate. There will be a tribal group, the Forest Level Act. But they don't know forest is the mother, the tribals are the mother of the forest. That government is not witnessed there. They have a right. Tribals have the right. They became the nationalite. This is my right. Someone are occupying your home. What is your takeaway? What is your action? You lived nearly 20 years or the 30 years. Are the legacy of the whole sectorial monarchy of your family. What is your takeaway? An insurgent will be actionate, right? First you maintain the dialogue, it won't be covered. After that you are commencing protect the scenario towards the objective. That protection is not covered. That's why the Protect Act will be uncovered. And this is where the development ends. Nothing will be done. So when there is no development on that particular objective, then there is no inclusivity and there is no sustainability. There is no human development also. So this is the one objective for Naxalism. What I need to be, that you fulfill, I will obey you. Otherwise, this is my land and I will take my own oath. This is the concept of Naxalism. The reason why I propagate means you have to know about the vigilantism and the Naxalism. They are not one coin, two faces. Vigilantism means any of the person who is not having any of the objective, but a singular mindset in their own propaganda and maintaining the rule of law obligation in opposite way, unconstitutionally. They gained upon something which is not feasible enough. That is a vigilantism. The Naxalism means the propagation of the vigilantism. They set an objective. They want something which is better with their own knowing phenomena, whether it is from the gun, or it is from the protect, or it is from the voice, or it is from the dialogue. Right? Yesterday in mob violence chapter, I emphasized when the dialogue will, when the gun will end, the dialogue will start. When the dialogue will end, it is not feasible, then the opposite nature will come. It won't be, it is a vicious cycle. Right? Mobocracy ends the bureaucracy. Bureaucracy ends, the democracy ends. Right? This is the same dialogue here also. When the mobocracy is in peak of loss, then the bureaucracy is in loop of hole. When the vicious cycle of bureaucracy happened, the democracy has its no sense. So, by the law, in the rule of law of India, emphasized, we the people having solemn regard to constitute secular, socialistic, democratic republic. The same sentence, what do you mean by sovereignty? Sovereignty means we are the state branch, but we are all union. One body, the several distinguished parts, right? That's what the sense. But we are not making their own agenda fulfillment. Anything which is aggravative. You concentrate here. It reflects the deep governance deficit. What do you mean by deficit? Governance is not in one hand. How many of you are believing it? You cannot govern the governance or the administration in your own hand. You have to maintain the balance between the other hand too. So, your choice should be another voice. Your voice may be another needs. Your needs may be in future the greed. Right? So, there is a chain here. You have to maintain the balance of the chain. If any chain collapsed, then there is no replication or inclusive development. Then the gun will be externalized and internalized. Right? And you know, the statistically I want to say, convey 80% of the left wing in extremism. I want to convey what you mean by left wing, why it is called as left wing. There is two concepts, one is right wing and left wing. Right wing is within the law, they protect. That is a fundamental right. Right to protect, Article 21, with dignity, livelihood. What is left wing? They oppose it in nature in an opponent way. I don't want means I don't want. That is the mindset. That is the Maoist. You can see in China, the Maoist 2004. It is formed in 2004. Maoist means red capillary functionality, the functionary capillarity, like that. So, in 2004 what happened, the formation of the Maoist CPI will be formed, and it hampered the natures of the interest of the India. At that time it is so vulnerable because we are in the gap of national capacity building. You know, it is not the era of only now 2000, 2010, 2011, it is not the case. If you concentrate the colonial British era, we fought for independence nearly 90 years, right? Whomsoever concerned, the perspective is one is modernist, another one is extremist, another one is Indian army. Indian National Army created by Subhash Chandra Bose, right? INA, right? You concentrate now. Modernists are okay with the British law, but slightly protect in their own non-violence manner. But in extremists, their gunpoint pinpointed, right? So this is the same thing now also concerning, but in our own globe. At that time it is a British to India. This time it is India to India. So this is not the collective okay thing. It's not the collective okay thing because Chhattisgarh is named after the Naxalism hugely. Jharkhand is a mineral rich resource and forest cover is huge. Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh is very tiny marginal functionality. And if you concentrate the Maharashtra, and why it is so, the forest cover land is highly prone. Example, in 2000 and 1998 to 2000, Veerappan is also one kind of a Maoist, right? Maybe the name is not after the Maoist or the Naxalite. The wing, the proportionality, the faith, the value is similar to the Maoist or the Naxalism crunch, right? How many losses are there? If you statistically you convey, more than 2,000 incidents are happened. Throughout from 2010, especially 2010 the case is huge, 2,250 something, and now to 2024 you consider or 2023, it is reduced nearly 50 cases, right? Still it is there. Okay, there is a question here. Why South Peninsula is only affected the national interest towards nationalism? Why it is not in Northeast India? There will be, there is, but in a nominal way. Because Northeast India, the area network is very small. It is not even any big district in Karnataka. The area network. But the local panchayats are more governing in nature. That's why our grassroots of democracy is strengthened enough in a 5 parameter. One is decentralization governance. That is local to local, vocal to vocal. Another one is independent participation, individual participation. That is what is your contribution to my state, my district, my taluk, my local panchayat or my nation. That is an individual participation. And also socio-economic conditions to strengthen. What is the socio-economic condition? Whether it is mine, not for me, but for me. The Honorable President thought, President of India, Draupadi Murmu thought, right? That is the case. And if you concentrate, when the 73rd and 74th Commandment of Law, 11th and 12th Schedule are made their own distinguished objective fulfilling, then there is no non-violence because each panchayat is a good governed and each taluk, if the each panchayat good governed, what happens? The each taluk will be governed. Each taluk will be governed. Each district will be governed. Each district will be governed. One state will be governed. And if the state is okay, then the national itself is okay. Right? We have a clear cut of democratic sense, executive in separation, judiciary in separation, legislative separation. Not that, the voice of the voiceless, people are thinking voice of the voiceless, whose voice we are thinking, whose voiceless we are advocating. That is the replica here. See, objective and subjective. Objective means what you think twice. What do you want? In future of rest your 30 to 70 years. That is an objective. For those who are insurgent or you also, any normal citizen, any insurgent group are having same objective. That is a right to livelihood. Somebody are not willing to give that, then the agreedness is not happening. Then the fear, then the anger, then the extra negative emotions are created. So this is a huge jump over the balance. That's why earlier one stage was there. Insurgents means the gun point and pinpointed. It is a shot-to-shot network. But now insurgents means Gun will be operated for mitigate the insurgent. After that, the development is made. After that, the dialogue will be hampered. So this is the three balance. That's why former National Security Advisor emphasized any action on national interest towards nationalism is not in a gunpoint or pinpointed way. It is also for the dialogue. It is also from the inclusive growth or any kind of development. When the social network is balanced, they are not bothered. Okay, it is my land. I have got it. Okay, I will be agreed. That's why if you concentrate in 2023, Karnataka, one fellow is surrendered. And also it was an incident of grave in Udupi also, some places there, and some commandant is shot down. There was a news, right? And Maharashtra, recently one Naxalite is surrendered himself. So surrender is the best policy. Any aggravation is not the thing of heroism, because here there is no, it is the constitutional era. There is no heroism era, right? And I can say one incident. Honorable ex-Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi assassinated case, right? That is a clear cut of Maoist. Very, very sad story. If you concentrate, there is a movie also, you can watch it. How the internal disturbance will propagate the Tamil opinions. There the Tamil opinions, within the peninsula of the Tamil Nadu itself, there is a more number of acquire the feelings of it from the Sri Lanka. And Jaffna, it is called as Jaffna, very Prabhakaran, Tiger Prabhakaran. It was a very sad story, you know. So, your objective may not be fulfilled for particular actions. But if your objective may not be fulfilled, how come you sure enough to deal the things within not the dialogue? He won't come, no. If you want a social economic standard, it is my duty to give you. And if I am not, how come you agree with me? If you are not okay with me, you are not believing with me, how come I expect my beliefs to you? You are not trust with me, you are not trusted to you. I want your trust. How come it is possible? So that's why yesterday I emphasized governance, administration, national capacity, or any kind of the India strengthening well-being is not in hands of one state. One state means sovereign nation. It is the responsibility of the nation to protect the civilians from statelist, currentalist and unionist. But it is also the responsibility of the people, of civilians, to the state in the means of the GPSP or the fundamental duties, right? Article 51A to 51K fundamental duties. I have to protect, I have to respect my inland, my mainland from India concern. And it is the responsibility, duty to protect our flag and constitutional and value the brotherlyhood nature, and I have to respect the neighborhood policy. We have a great doctrine of neighborhood policy, you know. We have to respect, we have to think twice whether we have to use the weapon or not. In an external aggravation system, any war, external agreed war, not the internal agreed war. If you come across with your hometown, you may be shot. It is not the way. You have to repropagate. That's why in constitutionally it is feasible. Anyone can use the fighting mode if your Atma is gone. Atma is in a threat. But it is not the case. But the same thing is obligatory in Naxalism. So, very, very sad story on that particular. And district with highest intensity in Chhattisgarh. What do you mean by Sukma? What do you mean by Sukma? Sukma means a rebellion attack is more. There the red capital is more. Red means what? Blood. When the red is high, the blood is high. When the blood is short, then there is no justice. Injustice happens, right? We are in a suffocated GS2 answer. Justice denied, justice denied. That is the same thing quotation to Naxalism people also. See, this is a wonderful map I can show, and you can write it in General Studies 3 paper with respect to Naxalism or the left-wing extremism or any kind of model. The left-wing extremism is more in terms of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Maharashtra and some part of the Karnataka, that too in a coastal Karnataka, Malanadu, Shivamogga, Chikkamangaluru, Mangaluru, Udupi, Uttara Kannada, and some part of Hassan, Sakleshpura too. Okay, it's not coming up here because Bangalore is very near, right? And Mysore some part, yeah, but not huge. So this is the affected ego. And if you concentrate the northeast, the Nagaland, Naga insurgent group, highest there. Any atheist among the atheists of the northeast, Naga insurgent from the Nagaland is more threat. They are not asking anything which from the Indian government. They are asking the socio-economic condition. I will emphasize why this is the root cause of extremism. One is from unemployment. You know, normal civilian, how many unemployment rate is there? It may be a 4.4%, right? And what kind of education you are going to adequate, you are not at all aware about something which is something objective. Even if you are not, how come they? And another, the poverty. Poverty is the main cause. And social concern. You know what? Most of the nationalist group or the extremist group are facing the threat. The condition assessment from they are coming to the force for nationalism is in a cause root of the feelings. Some part may be hurt, some women are raped in front of them, and some aggravated behavior happening from the family sphere by the force of law, of rule of land, and something unemployment rate is huge. So they are not okay, and communalism, that is also one part, and linguistic sense, you can concentrate the Tamil Nadu rebellion of Tiger Prabhakaran, right? So this is also one concept, and concentrate the poor health facility, anything which is a modesty in sustainable development or human development, the life expectancy, educational awareness and income, that is not there. And most of the cases, the tribal people, we have to respect the tribal people, they are the Muggles, but we are not. That's why they are disagree with that, and their land should give to their only. It's not there, they are not having a property right there. It's a forest domain, they know how to deal the things in a several way. They are living in 120 years rather than we lived in 74 years right here. Right? They know how to live, but we are not giving a permit there. Because yes, of course, Union India is a Union India, even that party is also a Union India, but we have to respect, if it is so, the New Zealand, the Hakka is a tribal group. Now the constitution also validates on it. So, India is a diversified country, whether you believe or not, you believe. Then you believe this also. Before you come across the union or state or the concurrent list, the tribal people are there. So what is the propagation to, what exactly you need to be the decorum there? They want to come to mainland, they want to come to mainland. Yes, I agree, they have to come to mainland. First, you respect them. Give a dialogue. Okay, you have to come to mainland. I will also learn from the tribal group. Whether this is happening now? No. There must be A is equal to B. If you want something, you have to learn something. If you earn something, you have to give something. This is the Parivartana Niyama. So, we are treating they are vulnerable. Actually, what you know, according to me, I saw many topics in General Studies 2 and General Studies 3. Always emphasizing on vulnerability, vulnerable section and so on. But what is my agenda is, what is my opinion, it's my personal opinion, you can have it in a pinch of salt. Any vulnerability who created? Okay, they are vulnerable, you treated. You have to see whether the vulnerability will mismatching on that particular action. You have to get away the measurement, right? You communicate, keep on communicating, they are vulnerable, they are vulnerable, they are vulnerable. In this year, they are vulnerable. In that year, they are vulnerable. When it is not, they are vulnerable. ಯಾವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಯಾವಾಗುತ್ತೆ? We have a AI technology, quantum mechanics, we have a physics, we have a culture, we have a soft power, we have a hard power. When it is eradicating the vulnerability. Have you ever think, okay, they are vulnerable for what reason, and any social standard is mismatched, they are vulnerable. Anything which is physically disabled, they are vulnerable. But keep on telling they are vulnerable. You know, the PWD candidates are winning the match for the India and they are having secured the gold medalist in the PWD category. Whether they are vulnerable? Even their proportionality, we are not onto the system of hierarchy. You have to see why they are vulnerable. After that, you have to give an attention towards the socio-economic condition or what they actually need it. The real governance is laid when you away from the vulnerability situation to make you ego out. Then you are the real government. You are the legitimate governance system. Or otherwise, you itself is the vigilantarian. Like that. So, type of left wing, how they attacking, this is the scenario. One is the guerrilla war, that is an ambush type of nature. So, you are hiding out your nature and they are not receiving into the nature of interest and so on. And targeted assassination means killing up some personality for their objective. Example, ex-ministers of Karnataka, Nagappa, killed by Veerappan, right? You saw movies and so on. That is also one kind. And destruction of infrastructure means, you know what is infrastructure? A roadway, a railway, a portway, airway, or any energy sector. Massively inculcate that segment towards infrastructure, then your reality will be collapsed because you lost the GDP hugely. It's not a joke. Any bombarded, any bomb blast, you are losing a livelihood, property, and means of livelihood also, right? And kidnapping and intimidation, that is the one task, and also propaganda and radicalization. Radicalization, this is the word of beauty. Radicalization is nothing but you have an objective, and that is having sense from decade to decade, from decade to decade. Actually, you know what? People are thinking we civilians are having great voice. You know what? We have a voice but no sound. Yeah, we have a voice but no sound. If the government has a voice without sound, it is not the voice of the voiceless people. You have to stubborn enough to deal in a sophisticated way. Dare. Yes, you receive it in a mutual harmony. Then the real ethics will concern. You have a GS4, right? You have a transparency, accountability, social audit, trusteeship, and love, attitude, empathy, and so-called agilitarianism. So this is all the principle of not only in one domain, it is an objective. It should be in a real-time phenomena. People are writing in GS4 here, people are not understanding the validation, and people are conveyed, okay, they are the Naxalism because he is having poverty, he is not having social economic condition, he is having linguistic bias, she is a woman, you know, most of the cases, the woman Naxalism also come up. Understand? Why? Because from his bare hands she saw the rape cases. It's not a joke. That's what the scenario. And international best practice we have to address in a smooth way. One is Philippines, another one is Cambodia, and Indonesia, and also the Nepal lesson for India. Why? The Philippines and Cambodia, see the word, one is peace accord. Peace accord means maintaining the dialogue. Another one is reintegration. You may be there, I will provide an infrastructure to you in your own way of livelihood. And development packages. The word is package is not absolutely good. You are not giving a package. Who are you to give the package? If you convey something, you want my belief. You have to give the belief in your own way. You are not thinking they are vulnerable. How come you give the package? So that word is also a non-obocracy. And the Philippines, community-based conflict resolution means anything which is a revenant task, there is a conflict. And local peace goals. The local area network is more for nationalism and Maoist and some internal aggravation. So local peace is one. And political mismatching. The biggest junk is a political administration. You have to deal the local administration. You have to deal the good governance. The political administration for their own manifesto may not be massive because a nationalist group are not vigilant enough to deal in a politicalization. They are not believing the concept of the political. They believe the concept of the human to human. That's all. Anthropological evolution, you concentrate each and every human come across from the forest itself. The chimpanzee. Right? Chimpanzee. And lesson of India, dialogue, development, demobilization. What is demobilization? Demobilization means a nationalist group are having resources, the weapon, the food, the functionary, the mechanism. That all the four resources should be demobilized. Then the weakening happens. That is what we are calling it as incapacitated the nationalist. After that, we have to provide the good governance. That is in mode of dialogue and mutual peace accord and so on. There is a quote here, peace cannot be kept by force, it can only by achieving understanding. Who said that? The renowned scientist Albert Einstein. And also, this is why they call, have you seen the movie in English, Oppenheimer? The Oppenheimer. He is a scientist, He found the hydrogen nuclear bomb. One of the great projects there. At that time he conveyed, peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. The mutual contest of agreement. This happened. And violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. That means if you quarrel each other, okay, then your mutual respect occurs. And if you quarrel like anything, you are last resort. You are not finding a way. Then you quarrel it. If you are correct to yourself, you quarrel it. Otherwise, why? The mutual dialogue is a root. And if you concentrate the mutual dialogue, the 8 principles of the good ethics will become across with you. Trust, love, and objective, subjective, and goodwillness, caring, and mobilization. And extremists thrive where development dies. It's the former NSA speech. Left-wing extremism is the single biggest internal security threat from Honorable ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. You can aramse write it in GS3 paper of this subject, and also you have to understand these words multiple times. Otherwise it won't be understood. Because you are a future governing body to accelerate the growth of economy, not only the economy, the social concern also, upliftment of the country. You have to know this. And constitutional monarchy, you consider the Article 14, 21, 19, freedom of speech. It is also there for them, If you are curbing, how come it is possible? Yes, of course, UAPA, Unlawful Prohibition Act, that is a Weaponry Use Out Act, that is okay. And NIA Act 2008, National Investigation Agency come across the internal security, right? This is Central Investigation Team for NWE. And fifth and sixth schedule is commencing from the tribal welfare, because most of the cases the tribal is in forest. The forest is in Naxalism is more in forest is a hometown, right, for there. That's why. So you concentrate, Article 14, 19, 21 is the biggest strength to them. You have to provide them. Peace accord is with the Article 19 freedom of speech, Article 14 livelihood, and Article 21 right to life. Adequate means of right to work. And sustainable linkage, when there is a poverty, there is unemployment. When there is unemployment, there is no hunger. There is less adequate livelihood, more hunger, and means of education is not there. When the education is not there, awareness is not capacitated, and social imbalances occur. When the anger will concern, there is no love, then there is a differentiation. Okay, you differentiate me. Right? We have a national commission for several bodies, right? NCW, NCBC, and NC tribal also. No, backward class and backward class is there, but we don't have national commission for respect to tribal. Why? They are not vulnerable. People are thinking twice. You know, in any parliamentary action, they take a actionate figure in terms of parliamentary position. What if the bill is commencing in a parliament? You have to think 30 years away whether this bill will make eke out the capacitated, uncapacitated fellows. Whether this bill is futuristically helping me in national capacity building. Whether this bill will match upon the last mile record. That is the thing. So people are not right now. Still, how many literacy rate is there? 80. 85%. That too in a modern era. That 15% belongs to them, this only. Right? Each and everything. You know, 98, hardly it is 3 years to reach 100% for Mizoram, right? Right? So, very subjective in nature. You concentrate this landmark judicial policy, 8 pillars of the fight to win extremism. This is the Samagan portal, Samagan scheme, smart leadership, aggressive strategy, motivation and training, actionable intelligence, dashboard-based KPI, and home technology, and action plan for each threat, no access to funding. This is the neutralized Naxalism format, the Samadhan. The name itself is Samadhana. Samadhana means taking care. Yes, we are there with you. How many of you people are communicating someone who is vulnerable in their own way, in any of the sphere? I am there for you, don't worry. How many of you are? None of them are. That is what the maturity, right? Someone are having vulnerability, you should not show the heroism or the heroism, but you have to mutually respect in a harmony way. The mutual harmony lies, love will be occur. When the love will be occur, society will change. When society will be changed, the national capacity will develop. That is the clear objective of Samagan here. And challenges. Deficit of forester, this is also I am explained in a consecutive way. But ideologically difference is there. That ideological difference we cannot match up. Because their own livelihood is different than ours. We have a style of functionality to live in this era through modern technology, but they don't. But they are having a futuristic sense in a 120 years also. That we don't have. So ideological difference should match. How? That is a question mark. That is a check balance here. And case study, you know, Dantewada Chhattisgarh attack in 2010 and 17 and 24. Very recently it is also had. Where the Chhattisgarh, Maoist is more. And deadly ambush for the Central Armed Regional Police and also the DRG, the District Range Guards, personnel are attacking, and also the surrender policy success in Odisha, that is in Maharashtra also, in Arkansas, Karnataka also surrendered. Many of the Naxalites are surrendered. We are a flagship ethos of 80% of the Naxalism is coming away. We mitigated. And absolutely I am not saying we mitigated. It is I also convey they came away. Because it is not in one hand. One decision cannot be happened. Mutual decision only is a picture. That is what the dialogue. Otherwise it is a voice. Right? And there is no dialogue. And this picture sends more. You may be saying this is the small pic or picture, but you concentrate each and every state of particularly the Naxalism area, the incident and the death rate, death of Naxalists. See the incident 2019 5 and death is 2 and 66. See, up to 2029 to 2022 this is the case. Right? I also explained in the era of 2010 11 is peak, but still now it is. See the numbers, see the incident numbers. Odisha 45, attacking. So you can write any of this. Okay. Probably point to you GS3, but you have to understand the severity of the threat towards India regarding this. And solution, the community policing, the welfare mechanism, you know, there is a great quote. Yeah. Civilian can be the vigilant policing. A police can become the vigilant civilian. What do you mean by that? It is not the one case to protect the nation internally, the policing. It's not the police work. Yes, absolutely, the security force is within the police. But if you concentrate the voice for the policing in civilian, civilian is the guard of the nature. That temper should be developed. We call up the police, yes, this is happening, please protect me. That's not the case. He is also human. That's why mobocracy chapter I yesterday emphasized. Any mob violence, at least one police will be fatal or not fatal. They are also having men, functionaries, and also they are having families, kids. We are not responsive enough. We have a protection, yes, go, mob violence, happening the violence, that case is happened. Another news chapter is opening, Vijay Karnataka will open the news, and so on, concern it. So, people are think twice what exactly we need to be. See, this is not the GS2, GS3 only. This is the one topic, I emphasize clearly. Each and every topic has its own meaning. It is a challenges, it is a solution. What India stand, what the best practice stand, what internationally we are standing. That's why Sustainable Development Goal number 99 out of 180 or something what is there now. It's not a big challenge. This is the challenge. How we addressing is the challenge. Yesterday, people are telling that 6.6% of the GDP in hike in 8.5% in India. How it is possible? The scheme implementation. You show the scheme implementation. Any social concern, your health, education, infrastructure, human development, concentrate on each and every terminology along with the calamity condition you are developing. First, you have show the love towards the people. A district magistrate or the collector should have a responsibility. It's not a power, it is the actionable agenda. He can action it. A police, superintendent of police or the DIG or the SP of the district having a security crunch, you have to show your security. You securitate the district in a means of external and internal threat. That is your task. That is not the power. Anyone thought like this? GS3, GS2 of topic of UPSC is not only for scoring phenomena, it is also to understand a maturity thinking towards India and the globe scenario. And usage of the technology, that is a driven policy, political interference less That is also one concept. Making their trusteeship is the one concept, and make their ego to through dialogue, social harmony, mutual interest, and mutual capacity building. This is one concept. And the international best practice like Cambodia, Philippines, and also concentrate on that 80% of the figure, it is eradicated by India itself. That should be from Kamagan Portal, that should be addressed. So this is the solution. Statement you concentrate, a bullet can silence the rebel. A bullet can silence the rebel, but only good governance can end the rebellion. That means if you shot, your body will collapse. That body may be a negative, may be a positive. But a good governance makes the dialogue in a trusty way. It will create a love towards some people to another people. Any stand we have to take. That's why, you know what, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the great teacher and also Honorable ex-President also, and Vice President also, he emphasized, a good teacher, in a fraction of a second he must be a type for a student. And also in a fraction of a second he should be loved to a student. Always making a stand, hey, come on, yake odilla, hey, yake, it's not the way. And always keep on telling you, I will love you, okay, you don't worry. You are not maintaining actionable tightness. That is also not the way. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮೈ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ 1 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರ್ತೀನಿ 2 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಥರ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. You made a mistake, I will propagate it. I will propagate it. I feel you are a good children, I will love towards you. My harmony towards you. Because tight and love, two faces of same coin in the same objective. That is the value. Here also in administration. It may be in a teaching mode, but administration for nationalism that is required, mainly required, to build the trusteeship. Right? And conclusion, left-wing extremism is a very threat to democracy, also for the bureaucracy, also any kind of action is not taken care, the sabka saath sabka vikas will hamper. And we believe in a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, means the collective responsibility, massive strength to develop our nation. So we have to be a voice in a dialogue way. We should not be silent enough, because they are also having Article 21. Thank you.